What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Brianna Nicole bringing you another session of Ghosts and Glam. You already know the deal. I give you a full face of glam while telling you a ghost story. Update on the Galvez, just very briefly. I was looking at the rooms and honey, the prices spike up during Halloween. I wonder why that is. So it's most likely that I will be staying at a haunted hotel here in San Antonio. If you want me to do a video like staying there, like what I capture, this, that, and the other, let me know. And I think that'd be fun because I'm like the concept of me staying in a hotel by myself is really like, ooh, because it's haunted. It's like, who are you gonna wake up? You see someone, who are you gonna wake up? Girl, you only got you. I'm gonna just put salt around my whole bed. Topo Chico does not hit the same in a plastic bottle. No. Anyways, it's the last day of August. Where has 2020 gone? Well, down the drain, honestly. But it's the end of summer. Siri plays Summer's Over interlude, and you know we're ready for spooky season. We're ready for Halloween. I am ready since like the second week of August. I'm ready to spookify my room. I'm ready to spookify the house and spookify the pets. That's gonna be really great. Now I get to dress up both dogs. I'm so excited. I'm gonna do one last colorful, vibrant, summery look. I'm gonna basically say this is putting the sunset to end the summer. So without further ado, we're gonna get into today's look and today's story. I want to know, does anybody else remember that show? Because nobody really remembers it except for me. When I was a little girl on ABC Family, back in the day, there used to be this show called Real Scary Stories. I'd be in my room, I had my little TV on, and I'd be under the covers, like, you know, watching the show. And I would get, you know, I get creeped out. I was little. But this one story just, in particular, just always stuck out to me, and we're going to talk about it. For some reason, I don't like to cover the stories that like everybody talks about. I know I did the Whaley House, but that's a different story. That's just like really interesting. But I also like to talk about the stories that are less mentioned. Apparently this story is somewhat popular. The episode that I watched was Condie's ghost, but the actual person that we will be talking about today is Condie Cunningham. Condie Cunningham was born December 19th, 1891. in Jefferson County, Alabama, and she passed away February 5th of 1908 in Montevallo, Shelby County, Alabama. Now, Condie was a student at the Alabama Girls Industrial School, which is now the University of Montevallo. She was only 16 years old when this tragedy occurred. Now, as I said, Condie was living in a girls' school. It was a pretty strict school. They did have a house mother. 9:30 is basically the warning bell, the wind down bell, if you will. And at 10 o'clock, it is lights out. So one night, Condie and her roommate were basically making some hot fudge on a chafing dish. And with a chafing dish, it's actually fueled by alcohol. She had the chafing dish, she had the bottle of alcohol, and they were making fudge. So at 9:30, they got their notification like, hey, you know, start winding down. It's going to be lights out soon. They start trying to wrap up the process, wrap up the fudge making. While they're doing that, they accidentally spill over the bottle of alcohol and it ignites a fire which spreads all onto Condie's nightgown. The roommate tried to actually snuff out the flames by throwing a throw rug on her, but it was already too late. Condie had actually gotten up and went screaming and running down the main hallway, and by the time that the staff had actually found her, she had been severely burned past recognition and would later die in the hospital. She is very well known there at the university. Her story is well known and people have had encounters with her. Now, when I first watched this story, I had to have been like that. I was between 7 and 8 years old. So I was very young and impressionable and this story would freak me out. I think because of how it happened, you know, it was just like a freak accident. It's scary. After Condie's death, an image would appear on the door continuously, showing a girl on fire with flames in her hair and her eyes just open, just kind of gawking out. Several complaints were made. The door was changed out several times. However, each and every time that the door was changed, the image would still appear on the wood of the door. So what ended up happening is they put the door upstairs in the attic. Now, the crazy thing about the door, they display the door in the library during the month of October. Now I know what you want to know. The sightings. Oh yes, I got you. There's honestly, a lot of the sightings have stayed in my memory since I watched the show. So a lot of this is from memory. Just FYI. So some of the most popular experiences are just seeing a woman running through the hallway, especially late at night. Now, one of the girls that was living in the university dorms was saying that she had seen, you know, her carpet that she had in her doorway, it started to lift upwards, kind of like the magic carpet in Aladdin. You know how he does his little flippity floppity thingy? There was no draft, there was no AC, there was no breeze, there was no fan on. So she opens up the door, she just feels like this cold rush of energy just kind of hit her. This next story I'm going to tell you is another one from memory. This girl was staying by herself at the dormitory, I guess like during the summer. So she's staying by herself. She goes inside the restroom to take a shower. She's the only one there. All of a sudden, she starts to hear some footprints entering the restroom. They go to the last stall. The stall closes. All of a sudden, a blood-curdling scream comes from that bathroom stall. Homegirl runs from the shower, of course. Ran to that stall to see like what the heck is going on, like where did that sound come from. As soon as she opens up that stall, she realizes that there was never anybody in the stall. Based on the layout of the bathroom, she would have been able to see somebody running out. Just, it made no sense. Now I'm going to bring in two characters, because I think y'all like when I bring in characters to liven it up a bit, if you will. So we're going to name these characters Tweedledee and Tweedledum, because you had to be if you thought that this was going to work. So Tweedledee was asleep in her dorm room, and Tweedledum was asleep in the bed next to her. Tweedledee wakes up in the middle of the night, and she sees the ghost of Condie at their vanity brushing her hair. Ma'am. First off, how rude. Oh, ain't this a bitch? Okay, I was really interrupted, but going back to Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So, Tweedledee sees Condie brushing her hair at their vanity. So she's telling Tweedledum, she's like, wake up, wake up, wake up, get it together. As soon as Tweedledum wakes up, she just happens to see like the flash of Condie disappearing. So they both saw that. This is why I call them Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Because then they requested to be moved to a different room. If the whole damn dormitorium is haunted, what makes you think that moving to a different room is going to keep the same thing from happening? So let me tell y'all what happened. Again, this is all from memory. They're in their new dorm, right? Now they're on bunk beds. See, they had side-by-side beds. Now they're on bunk beds. Tweedledee was asleep on the top bunk. Tweedledum, obviously, on the bottom bunk. Tweedledee gets woken up in the middle of the night to see the apparition of Condie friggin' floating, just looking at Tweedledee. Yeah, no. I'm like, mommy. And the last haunting story that I have is about a girl in the university who had a very short stay. Let's put it that way. So this girl was actually staying in Condie's room. I don't know if they're still letting people use her room. I would have just cautioned it off and just made it a memorial to her. But anyways, this girl was staying in Condie's room. Now one night she had heard a noise outside of her room. So she opens up the door to see a girl in flames running down the hallway. Now I don't know if this girl ended up following her down the hallway like to see what was happening or if she could help her. I don't know. When she came back to her room though, her bed was on fire. After that, the next morning, Miss Thing calls her parents, says, you know what? I'm not gonna stay here. Y'all need to come get me. She left the university. She never went back ever again. Well, guys, hold up. Oh, baby. Oh, come on, beat. Look at that. And that is the story of Condie Cunningham. Tragic tale. Listen, she was just trying to have some gosh darn fudge and it cost her her life. So sad. So sad. I have been wanting to cover this story. I didn't think if anybody would be interested in this story, but I hope that you liked it. This story creeped me out when I was little. If you've ever seen the episodes of Real Scary Stories, sound down below which one was your favorite, because there weren't that many episodes. There were only a few. Does it give you that nostalgia like it does with me? But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed today's story and today's look. I'm ready to bid this summer adieu. I'm ready to bid this year a big adieu. Can you do a big adieu? I don't know, but goodbye. I love you guys. I thank y'all so much for watching. As y'all know, I enjoy making these videos for you, and if there is something that you want me to cover, you already know, just sound off below. And until then, I will see you in the next session of Ghosts and Glam. Be safe.